it's Renae. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Guess who's super inconsistent about doing that intro? Your girl. It was just Valentine's Day, and so to keep with the theme of all this lovey-dovey shit going on, I thought I would talk about something that I love. Something very near and dear to my heart. Tropes. What's a trope, you ask? That's a great question. Tropes are basically devices that are used throughout storytelling to connect to the audience in a quicker way. Whether you love them or you hate them, sometimes they're misused, sometimes they're overused, sometimes they're cliche. Actually, I like the definition of cliche. A trope is usually pretty cliche because it created the cliche. I'll get to that. You'll understand once I start talking about what my favorite ones are, because the video today is about the tropes that I love. The first trope that I love is Starcrossed Lovers. Now, you can give me shit about this all day long. I don't care. Not gonna change my mind. I love it. Give me all of it. Hello, I wrote a trilogy about Starcrossed Lovers. I love a warring family with the youngest kids in love. That's my shit. Wrap it up in a bow, send it to me. I want it. I want LGBT teenagers falling in love with the child of the pastor at their evangelical church. I want a homeless boy from the wrong side of the tracks and a poor little rich bitch princess falling in love with each other. I love everything in our lives says we can't be together, but let's try anyway, with the exception of emotional cheating. Star-crossed does not mean I have a girlfriend, but I also like you, so let's hook up in secret. That's the one thing, that's the one obstacle I don't need to see. I want every other obstacle besides that one. Number two is one that y'all are gonna flame my ass on too, but I don't care. It is the hate to love relationship. I love very little things more than I love reading about two characters who I don't know if they will punch each other in the face or make out. That is my shit. Tension, oh, it writes itself. The tension in a hate to love relationship is just, it's chef's kiss. It's, oh, love it so much. It's so good. And you get instant character growth from I hate your guts to I want to marry you. Like, it is, I cannot get enough of it. But I don't want the abusive undertones. Don't give me any of that. Don't actually punch each other. I don't like that. Another one of my favorite tropes, which actually might be really surprising to you guys because I tend to write really tight-knit, healthy familial relationships, is a dysfunctional, toxic family. 3 of my all-time favorite books are Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood, Sharp Objects, and Carrie. And that's not on accident. Like, I love a female-driven narrative, and I love a fucked up family. Whether it's like metaphorical, like how Carrie's mom abuses her to the point where her rage turns into literal like telekinesis, or it's like Camille Preaker in Sharp Objects where she's like so damaged by her mother, and then you see her little sister and how much more fucked up she is by, you know, their mother. And like, I love stuff like that. And I think it's because up until recently, I grew up in a really functional, tight, protective family unit. My parents shielded me from a lot of what was going on in our extended family. They hid their own dirty little secrets from me as a child. They did a really good job of keeping me pretty sheltered in terms of that stuff. So as a younger person reading this stuff, I was like, wow, people really do that to their families? Like, I can't understand. And then now that I'm an adult and my family unit has kind of imploded, and now I sit at the big kids table and they tell me what's really going on, now I'm like, oh yeah, people really do this shit to their families. And that actually ties right into my next favorite trope. Because the family you're born with can be so fucked up, I love the found family trope all the more for that reason. My go-to example for this is obviously Harry Potter and his relationship with the Weasleys all throughout the series. Molly Weasley became the mother that Harry needed so badly because he was treated so badly by his aunt and uncle, didn't have a parent to call his own. They made him a family. They gave him brothers. They gave him a home, they gave him somebody to celebrate Christmas with. And even in the Order of the Phoenix, like that book specifically, Harry had more family in the Order of the Phoenix than he knew what to do with. All the older family friends of his parents watching out for him, taking care of him, Molly and Arthur, all these like surrogate brothers and sisters, Hermione, like everyone was his family, especially in book 5. And I love the like seeing someone just plucked out of the dirt and put into like a warm, healthy relationship from people who don't have to do that. They're not related to you. They owe you nothing. They don't have to love you. They just do. And that is just something on the complete opposite end of the one I just talked about. I love that one too. So give me a fucked up blood family or a beautiful, warm, fuzzy cinnamon roll found family. I love this next trope so much that I'm writing a whole duology about it, and that is a girl gang. I love me a group of badass, take no shit, tight-knit friends. My books are heavily inspired by Clueless, Heathers, and The Craft. I love a gang of girls who do their thing, who are feminist as fuck, even if they do terrible shit to each other. I love when you find like that group that you just do your thing with and you don't fuck around, and like maybe you're friends, maybe you're not really friends, maybe it's like toxic, maybe it's all good. I love girls doing their thing. I love a female-driven narrative. I love a group of girlfriends. I love women loving each other, supporting each other, backstabbing each other. Like, I just want the complex female relationships all up in my books. Give it to me. This next one might not be a trope, but it definitely happens a lot, and that is a secondary character who is way more interesting and lovable than the main character. And again, I'm gonna reference Harry Potter for this. No one in the history of ever has answered the question, who's your favorite character from Harry Potter? With Harry Potter. Nobody says that. It's always some great side character who gets better lines and more meat, and you just always like another character from Harry Potter that's not Harry Potter. And then also with Twilight too, like yes, those books are about Bella and Edward, but I'm always way more interested in learning about what, you know, Edward's family is doing, especially Alice. I talked about how much I love Alice Cullen in a couple videos ago. I wanted a whole book on her. Like I think it's because you can give more meat to a character who doesn't have to fit within the arc of the story you're trying to tell. If they're just on the side, you can kind of give them the best little one-liners and the best little whatever and add a lot of meat to them, because a lot of times in YA, especially, the main character has a job to do. They have a task to complete. They have a journey to go on. And they don't get to be the fun person all the time. Like, for example, I have yet to meet someone who's read Civil Blood who doesn't love Sparrow Jackson. And they always tell me that Sparrow's their favorite character. And she's my favorite character too. And she's a secondary character, but she's just more fun than River or Fina. And I just think it's something that happens all the time, where you end up writing a character that's totally meant to be like a side person who might have some influence on the story but isn't the main person who takes a journey, and people end up loving them a lot more than the people who are telling the story. And finally, we're gonna end with another hella controversial trope that I can't get enough of, and that is unrequited love. I do have a stipulation. I love unrequited love when there is a valid reason for it being unrequited. Let me explain. It needs to be essential to the plot or themes of the story. So if you're a commoner who's in love with a princess who gets married off to some asshole duke in a faraway land, like, legitimate. I love that. Give it to me. If you're a lesbian, gay, bi, pan, queer person who falls in love with your very, very straight best friend, like, give me that angst. Like, that, I love that shit. What I don't love is when you create an unrequited love or a love that cannot be fulfilled just for the sake of angst. Like New Moon. New Moon has Edward leave Bella and not explain why, when it would have just been easy to be like, hey, my brother can't handle it, you almost died, I feel bad about it, I gotta go away for a while, like, it's all good, just sent this girl into a downward fucking spiral for no reason other than the fact that, like, we needed a second book. And that's just so annoying to me. Like, unrequited love, if the problem can be solved by a simple conversation, then it's not really a problem. And it's fine when Shakespeare makes entire plays and stories about, oh, hey, we didn't talk and now you're dead, or like, we didn't talk and now you're gonna fight me. Like, that's different. It's not an original thing anymore. It's not good. It's not good storytelling. It's just not. And there has to be a reason. Don't just create angst for the sake of angst. There needs to be reasons and fulfilling the mechanisms of the plot for me to like the unrequited love thing. But that's all I have for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next Saturday with another video that once again you guys are gonna probably hate, but like I'm doing my thing, guys. Like I'm running out of ideas. I'm doing what I want at this point. And I will probably do a tropes that I hate video sometime next month. So stay tuned for that. But until then, I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.